Edna Annie Proulx is an American journalist and author. She has written most frequently as Annie Proulx but has also used the names E. Annie Proulx and E. Proulx. Her second novel, The Shipping News, won both the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction and the U.S. National Book Award for Fiction and was adapted as a 2001 film of the same name. Her short story Brokeback Mountain was adapted as an Academy Award, BAFTA and Golden Globe Award-winning major motion picture released in 2005. She won the Faulkner Award for Fiction for her first novel, Postcards. Life. Proulx was born in Norwich, Connecticut, to parents of English and French-Canadian ancestry. Her maternal forebears came to America 15 years after the Mayflower, in 1635. She graduated from Deering High School in Portland, Maine, then attended Colby College for a short period in the 1950s, where she met her first husband H. Ridgely Bullock, Jr. She later returned to college, studying at the University of Vermont from 1966 to 1969, and graduated cum laude in Phi Beta Kappa with a BA degree in history in 1969. She earned her MA degree from Sir George Williams University in Montreal, Quebec in 1973 and pursued, but did not complete, a PhD. Proulx lived for more than 30 years in Vermont, has married and divorced 3 times, and has 3 sons and a daughter. In 1994, she moved to Saratoga, Wyoming, spending part of the year in northern Newfoundland on a small cove adjacent to Lanso Meadows. Proulx now lives in Seattle, Washington. Proulx has 4 sisters, twins Joyce and Janet, who live in Louisiana and Florida respectively. Roberta, of Fairleigh, Vermont. And Jude, another writer who lives in Wales. Writing career and recognition. Starting as a journalist, her first published work of fiction is thought to be The Customs Lounge, a science fiction story published in the September 1963 issue of If, under the byline H. Proulx. Another contender, probably earlier, was a science fiction story called All the Pretty Little Horses, which appeared in Teen Magazine 17 possibly a year or 2 before this. She subsequently published stories in Esquire magazine and Gray's Sporting Journal in the late 1970s, eventually publishing her first collection in 1988 and her first novel in 1992. Subsequently, she was awarded NEA and Guggenheim Fellowships. A few years after receiving much attention for The Shipping News, she had the following comment on her celebrity status. "It's not good for one's view of human nature, that's for sure. You begin to see, when invitations are coming from festivals and colleges to come read, that the institutions are headhunting for trophy writers. Most don't particularly care about your writing or what you're trying to say. You're there as a human object, one that has won a prize. It gives you a very odd, ginger kind of sensation." In 1997, Annie Proulx was awarded the Dos Passos Prize. Proulx has twice won the O. Henry Prize for the year's best short story. In 1998, she won for Brokeback Mountain, which had appeared in The New Yorker on October 13, 1997. Proulx won again the following year for The Mud Below, which appeared in The New Yorker June 22 and 29, 1999. Both appear in her 1999 collection of short stories, Close Range, Wyoming Stories. The lead story in this collection, entitled The Half-Skinned Steer, was selected by author Garrison Keillor for inclusion in the Best American Short Stories 1998, and later by novelist John Updike for inclusion in the Best American Short Stories of the Century. In 2001, Proulx was one of the writers heavily criticized by Brian Reynolds Mize in his polemical work A Reader's Manifesto. In 2007, the composer Charles Warren approached Proulx with the idea of turning her short story Brokeback Mountain into an opera. The opera of the same name with a libretto by Proulx herself premiered January 28, 2014 at the Teatro Real in Madrid to mixed reviews. Bibliography, non-fiction, Sweet and Hard Cider, Making It, Using It and Enjoying It, ISBN 0-88266-242-2, Plan and make your own fences and gates, walkways, walls and drives, ISBN 0-87857-452-2, The Gourmet Gardener, Growing choice fruits and vegetables with spectacular results, ISBN 0-449-90227-7. Bird Cloud, a memoir, ISBN 978-0-7432-8880-4. Novels and short story collections, Heart Songs and Other Stories, ISBN 0-684-18717-5. Republished with altered but similar content as trade paperback Heart Songs, ISBN 1-86373-777-4. Postcards, ISBN 0-684-83368-9. The Shipping News, ISBN 0-684-85791-X. Accordion Crimes, ISBN 0-684-19548-8. Close Range, Wyoming Stories, ISBN 0-684-85222-5. That Old Ace in the Hole, ISBN 0-684-81307-6. Bad Dirt, Wyoming Stories 2, ISBN 0-7432-5799-5. Fine Just the Way It Is, Wyoming Stories 3, ISBN 978-1-4165-7166-7. Barkskins. Awards, 2012 a United States Artists Fellow Award, 2004 a Aga Khan Prize for Fiction for the Wimsutta Wolf, 2002 a Best Foreign Language Novels of 2002/Best American Novel Award, Chinese Publishing Association and People's Literature Publishing House, 2000 a Willer Literary Award, Women Writing the West, 2000 a Borders Original Voices Award in Fiction, 2000 a People in Hull Just Want a Drink of Water, Best American Short Stories 2000 a English Speaking Union's Ambassador Book Award, 2000 a the New Yorker Book Award Best Fiction 1999 a Half Skin Steer Incorporated. Best American Short Stories of the Century, ed. J. Updike, 1999 a The Bunchgrass Edge of the World, The Best American Short Stories 1999 a The Mud Below, O. Henry Awards Prize Stories 1999 1998 a Brokeback Mountain National Magazine Award, 1998 a Brokeback Mountain Incorporated. O. Henry Awards Prize Stories 1998 1998 a Half Skin Steer Incorporated. Best American Short Stories 1998 1997 a John Dos Passos Prize for Literature, 1997 a short-listed for the 1997 Orange Prize, 1994 a Pulitzer Prize, Fiction, 1993 a National Book Award, Fiction, 1993 a Irish Times International Fiction Prize, 1993 a Chicago Tribune Heartland Prize for Fiction, 1993 a PEN Faulkner Award for Fiction. Film adaptations. The Shipping News was directed by Lars Hallstra Paragraph M and featured Kevin Spacey as the protagonist Quoyle, Judi Dench as Agnes Ham and Julianne Moore as Wavy Prowse. Brokeback Mountain, directed by Ang Lee and starring Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal, was based on a story of the same name in Proulx's collection of short stories, Close Range. References. Further reading, Annie Proulx. Contemporary Authors Online. Detroit, Gale, 2011. 1. Hennessy, Dennis M. Annie Proulx. American Short Story Writers Since World War II, 5th Series. Ed. Richard E. Lee and Patrick Mina. Detroit, Gale, 2007. Dictionary of Literary Biography Volume 335. 2. External links, Christopher Cox. Annie Proulx, The Art of Fiction No. 199. The Paris Review. Books That Changed My Life. Penn World Voices at the New York Public Library, May 4, 2008. An interview with Annie Proulx, Bookslot, December 2005. Interview with Annie Proulx in the Fall 2005 Wyoming Library Roundup.